Okay. All right, we're live. Here we go. Here we go. Testing, testing. All right, everybody. Welcome to the Attitude from Gratitude podcast. It's Friday night, roughly 7:18 p.m. Here at Work Recovery. We got a special guest on tonight, Jon W. Correct? W.
That's right.
All right, I got it right. Good thing I didn't forget. So yeah, we got a special guest, Jon W. on. We're gonna hear an inspiring story about active addiction and what recovery looks like now. Right?
Sure.
All right. So without no further ado, Jon W.
So I tell my whole story here.
Yep. Whatever you like.
Okay. Well, yeah. Hey, my name's Jon, and yeah, grateful to be here. Thanks for having me. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. It's gonna be next month if I don't mess this up. Can we swear in here?
Oh yeah.
If I don't fuck this up,
Yep.
I'll get 18 years next month.
Woo!
If I don't. And then I remember like a guy that I know who's also sober was giving me a hard time in a good way, like friends do.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was like maybe I was 10 years sober at the time. He said,
Yeah.
wow, 10 years and such little spiritual growth.
Yeah.
Which is fun.
Yeah.
I like that kind of stuff,
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
A little sarcasm. But yeah, okay. Tell my story, huh?
Yep.
I was born in Jamestown, North Dakota. Small town. Good parents. And didn't have any reason to feel off.
Yeah.
But I did.
Yeah.
No,
Absolutely.
I mean, circumstances, I hear people tell terrible stories
Yeah.
that I've talked to that are sober too, and they'll just
Yeah.
be like, oh man, the upbringing. And, and I don't know if I've heard one of them say that's the reason they became addicted.
Right.
But
Right.
you would think that might not make it easier. But
Right.
I had no reason,
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like a young man, troubled for no particular reason, committing petty crimes.
Yeah.
Uh,
So were the kids in the neighborhood doing it, or
yeah,
was it...
one of the things I got in trouble for, we stole some like chrome ollie bikes.
I remember those.
Like,
Yeah.
maybe like,
Chromies. Yeah.
can't remember what brand the bike
What
was.
kids do?
Yeah.
What kids do.
But I got in trouble for that.
Yeah.
I got put on probation.
Yep.
Parents were none too happy about that.
Yeah.
But took no lesson from that.
Right.
And then, yeah, even when I was younger than that, I stole a pack of gum from the convenience store with my mom.
Yep.
And then I'm chewing gum later at home that night, and she's like, "Where'd you get the gum?" And I didn't have an answer.
I don't know.
Yeah. She said, "You stole it, didn't you?"
Yeah.
She drove my ass back to that store
Yeah.
and made me return the gum.
Yeah.
And probably she paid the 25 cents. This was the 90s, things were cheap. But, but that's the lessons I was trying to.
Right.
But it didn't land.
Right. So after that point, there was more theft that went on in your childhood, or did you actually kind of learn something from there?
I did. I can't remember the timeline too much on it other than the bikes thing and that, but I remember stealing stuff with no use for it. I just remember, I can't remember what, but I know I did that.
I did the same thing. Yeah, I remember that.
It's ridiculous.
It's funny because as you say it, I'm remembering it, because I usually just kind of glaze over that part, and I usually just go right to the using, right? But the behaviors come before the use.
Yeah, that's the thing, dude.
And I forget about that.
Yeah, and I want to talk about this towards the end of it, but like a point I will make. But like, no reason. Great parents, truly. Yeah. I mean, my dad was a hard ass, but like,
as dads were back then.
I got hit once by my dad.
Yeah.
I called my mom a bitch.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Never do that anyway. I had it coming though.
Yeah.
But my dad wasn't like abusive. Anyway, so
he just had to let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
you learn.
I mean, I would probably smack my kid. I don't have a kid, but
yeah, right.
His mom that.
You know what? I mean, you got a point.
Yeah.
You got a point. I mean,
open-handed.
Yeah, people may not agree with that, but I do agree. I do think some kids need an ass whooping these days.
Yeah, and I know, and there's like a whole conversation about I'm not even qualified really to weigh in on what.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any kids either. Yeah. They made you get beat. Yeah, exactly. That's funny.
But yeah, I think it was like 2012. I came to the big city of Minneapolis to go to Lollapalooza. That was 1994. Saw the Smashing Pumpkins, Beastie Boys, George Clinton. I think he's a crackhead.
Yeah.
And I went to that concert, and it was awesome. And then shortly after that, I drank. I had sips of beer previously, but I drank for the first time.
Yeah.
Old English 40s.
Oh, I remember those, dude. You're bringing me back. Yep.
And I smoked pot for the first time I ever really got drunk. And it was like, I mean, you're a '90s kid, right?
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
you remember this Michael Jackson video, Black or White?
Yeah.
It's black, it's
Yeah.
white, it's unbelievable,
Yeah.
yeah. So there's in the video like the face is changing from like a black lady to like an Asian dude to like a
Yeah.
black guy, and like my brother's face was doing that. I went like full psychedelic mode on weed, 12,
Yeah.
12 or 13. you know.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
incredible. And
Yeah.
I knew I wanted that. And that feeling of just that ill at ease feeling went away. Which
Yeah.
is, I mean, this is standard for most
Very
people
common,
that have had addiction stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did that and it was great. And I couldn't really get alcohol consistently, but I
Yeah.
could get pot. So I was smoking pot at a young
Yeah.
age. And then,
Yeah. The Reggie. The
What's that?
Reggie weed.
oh yeah, you
Yeah,
mean the
yeah.
Mexican brick
Yeah,
weed?
yeah, the regular, yeah,
pick the
yeah.
seeds and
Reggie
stems out.
Miller's, yeah, you can call it that.
The Reggie Millers, whatever. The swag is what we call
Yeah,
it.
I was a swag master when I was a kid. I used to have pounds of that stuff. I thought that was so cool.
Right?
Oh,
It did the trick though, and then
it did.
I did cocaine at like 14 or 15. I loved it,
Oh, man.
and then I started doing needles and stuff later.
Yeah.
Not much later,
Yeah.
and yeah, I barely graduated from high school. And that first summer, I was 18. I went into my parents' bedroom at 4 a.m. coming down off coke.
Yeah.
Couldn't drink enough to quiet it. It
Oh.
was hell. So I just told them I have a problem,
Yeah.
and they knew it,
No, yeah.
you know.
Absolutely.
But I just wanted help. So I was
Yeah.
18, moved into my first place in Fargo.
Yeah.
It was called Prairie Psychiatric.
Oh.
So I went there. It was a treatment center, but
Yeah.
and stayed there for a while. Was serious about getting sober for like 2 weeks,
Yeah.
but then I had felt like I overcorrected the steering wheel a bit much.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I overreacted, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was there, and I just knew that like the key is just don't do needle drugs, and I'll be fine.
That's great.
You know. But then I would drink, and I was like, I had a strict rule. I wouldn't do needles, but I was like snorting
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
and drinking all the time.
Yeah.
And I couldn't put this into words at the time. I didn't understand what my paychecks were I was going because like I would go to a bar and start drinking.
Yeah.
And because I started drinking with no intention of buying cocaine,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's the way it would go.
Yeah.
And I'd be broke, and it was awful. And I went to cooking school. My mom paid for it. Started cooking. Was in restaurants. you
Oh
know.
yeah. Yeah. The drugs are really fluent there. Too.
Yeah, that's not exactly a hotbed for mental
Yeah,
health in the
yeah.
kitchen.
My brother was a cook for many years. Yeah.
But yeah, and I just finished cooking school barely and moved to Minneapolis. Was cooking at the Hilton downtown,
No. Nice.
and-
Fancy. Yeah.
and it kind of stayed true to the not doing needles thing, really. But I was getting to tour the kitchen, big ass banquet kitchen, huge kitchen.
Yeah.
Like you could throw a football in there.
Yeah.
And this guy was showing me around, showing me all the equipment, like introducing me to people. And he's like, "See that guy over there? That guy's name is Larry. He does heroin. Stay away from him."
Yeah.
So I went and talked to
Larry,
Larry.
my boy. That's my
Started a
boy.
whole new-
I feel Larry.
a whole new-
Pick selfies and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, new Vice there, and it got better, man. And
So this was roughly like
This was
late '90s.
no, this would have been now like a few years later, 2004 or so.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was trying to do music and stuff at that time, a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
I played music, I was writing music and doing that stuff, but man, I couldn't get my shit together. I had this girlfriend who had lived with me in Fargo and then moved with me to Minneapolis. Poor girl, man. I just
Yeah.
went through hell. We were doing dope together, like heroin, you know.
Yeah.
And in and out of detox, you know. I
Yeah.
went to like Mission Detox out in Plymouth probably like
Yeah.
10 times.
Well, no, at that point too, it was actually heroin. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Like I'm thinking back to 2004, and it was like before I ever got involved with the opiates, which I did later in my story too. But I can remember like people like, yeah, that guy does heroin, so don't talk to him.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that. It was just like,
Yeah.
you know, and like whatever symptom your disease was manifesting, like, oh, the cokeheads don't want to talk to the meth heads,
Right.
and the meth heads don't want to talk to the junkies, and the junkies don't want to talk to the meth heads because they steal. And
Sure.
you know what I mean? Like the list goes
Yeah.
on and on, and I can remember that too. Like I came to a house over South Side, and there was a dude named Leakley, and he had like a bunch of tattoos, and he used to like go around filming bums,
Really?
and he made like music out of it. It was actually kind of cool, man. I remember listening to it, and it was like that was my first introduction to like heroin. And everybody like blacklisted the guy, like they
Sure.
hated him and shit. But like, yeah, I just bringing back memories of that time frame.
Yeah, I don't think the life expectancy for heroin addicts is high.
Yeah, absolutely.
However,
Right.
now with it being not that, it's like you don't know the dosage you're getting because it's fentanyl.
Yeah.
And that shit's scary, man.
Yeah.
I
Well, and
never-
then not to mention too, they got shit I can't even fucking pronounce.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
don't. I did some of those whatever, designer or not designer. What do they call them? Like bath salts or something.
Oh,
and
yeah,
different
yeah,
kinds.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like just it has a
Yeah, I
chemical
was
name.
referring to like the new opiates they got. Like,
Oh, I don't even know
the
about
xylazine and stuff,
I
and
don't
like
even-
medetomidine.
I'm not even familiar.
Yeah, it's beyond me, but anyways, yeah.
But yeah, it got bad, man, and in and out, and I came, like to treatment so many times, and I just eventually just realized I was living on the street, South Minneapolis, begging for money off
Yeah.
35th and 36th Street exit off 35W.
Yeah.
I just it got bad, and I knew that if I moved
Yeah.
to San Diego, I could find my solution there.
The geographical change, yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
tried that
That's
out.
legit. Makes
Two
sense.
problems with my plan.
Yeah.
One is that by moving there, nothing changed internally. Just
Right.
my location on planet Earth changed.
Right.
And then the other problem with that plan was that Tijuana is only like 30 miles away.
Ooh, yeah. That's
So-
the dirt.
Yeah, so I was going down there, I would like steal money or whatever. I think I had a guitar. I was busking for money on the streets of San Diego. Then I go down to San Diego or to Tijuana and spend all my money. And on one of these trips on the train, I met this guy, and he invited me to go to his church. And I don't know why he asked me. Maybe because it's just miserable or whatever. I don't know. But I
Yeah.
went to his church. It was a Pentecostal church,
Yeah.
and they speak in tongues and stuff. It's like
Oh, yeah,
really
yeah.
animated. Like I
Yeah.
said, I'm from North Dakota,
Yeah.
So,
Freaks
like,
you out, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was raised in a Lutheran
Like, what is
church,
this shit? Yeah.
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 but the pastor asked me if I wanted to get baptized
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
They had a tank of water at the front of the church. I went up there, and they had me put on this big ass robe,
Yeah.
and yeah, he dunked me. He like plugged my nose and dunked me in the water, and like when I came out, I had a white light spiritual experience,
Yeah.
and it took away the desire to do drugs and drink right there
Interesting. Yeah.
until the next day
Yeah.
when I went back to Tijuana again.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
get sober till like a year later.
But it was an experience that
It was
that got you
definitely-
thinking, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not going to talk about the specific like program, so to speak, on how I got sober, but anybody listening to this would know
Yeah.
that there's probably a number of different ways.
There's
but-
places you can go. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
So I went to treatment again, and then I just followed all the instructions,
Yeah.
and I found a life with, an understanding of a higher power that works for me, and it's gotten better as time goes on, even through really difficult
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So yeah, what else? Sober, living reasonably good life. I had a band that didn't take off until after I got sober, because I couldn't even show up to the gigs before that.
Right.
you know.
Right.
But yeah, we were touring all over the United States.
Oh, really?
Yeah, John Wayne and the Pain. That was our band.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
reggae, mostly reggae music.
I remember hearing about them. I
Yeah?
do. Yeah.
So
I did.
Did that for a long time. Made a living doing that for a lot of years. We still play shows, but
I
just,
knew a lot of fish heads when I was.
oh, I love Fish, man.
Yeah,
That's like literally my favorite.
They
band.
go all over the Bonnaroo. They go to 10,000
Oh,
Lakes. And
yeah.
They always wanted me to go, but I was like more into like the hip hop scene and
Sure.
whatever. But they were like, dude, you need to come, man. You'd love it. You know what I mean?
dude,
Like,
it's
a lot of them. Actually, I think
it's a fun scene.
all of them but one are dead.
No shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's kind of sad deal, man. So I kind of want to back up a little bit. So with the opiates, right? So did it? At what point did you realize that it was a problem, or was it just always a problem? Were you just like, this is fucked, and I'm just gonna let it be fucked? Or you're like, one day you're like, oh, I got a cold, you know what I mean? You're like, oh, I just don't feel well, and somebody's like, dude, you're dope sick. Like that's how it snuck up on me. Like I was like, what do you mean? What? Like I'm not a heroin addict. You know what I mean? And when I got into it, it was like at the end of the heroin, beginning of fentanyl. So like there was still some heroin, and I can remember that like thinking like, well, what do you mean I'm dope sick? Like now I need it. Like, and it was just a wrap after that. Was it just like straight unmanageability from the get go, or?
No, but it got bad quick, and I developed a habit pretty quick. I
Yeah.
chipped for like maybe 6 months, but that's it.
Yeah.
And then I was full blown,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I get
Yeah.
so sick, shit my pants,
Oh.
just puke.
Yeah.
Brutal, man.
Yeah.
Driving to South Minneapolis, meeting Mexican guys on the road, or like
Yeah.
these.
Couldn't call them after 6 or whatever. And then, yeah.
Guatemala guys. Yeah, like they'd say, like, go to 45th and Columbus, go now, go now.
Yeah. Yeah. They come up with the blues in their mouth and.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then doing speedballs. Oh man, dude. Yeah, it's just a rotten existence. I mean, for a period of time, it was fun, but
Absolutely.
no,
That's what hooks us, you know, and those are the parts that we think about. You know what I mean? As time goes on, and
Yeah.
we're like, you know, and like we're sitting there, you know, on 35th begging for change, and you're thinking about the time that, you know, you're playing the guitar out on the beach and you're high as shit. You know what I mean? Like it was like a one-time thing, you know, like but you're still hanging on to that, right? You know, but the reality is that we're on 35th and we're asking for change. You know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
like, and we're the last ones to see it. You know what I mean? And like,
Yeah.
I feel that that's the crazy part about like this. This I call it a disease. A lot of people call it a choice. I call it a disease. You know, but like it's just like a disease of perception, right? Like you know, like in my head, yeah, I think I'm doing all right. You know, but anybody else looking in is like, bro, you got an issue. You know. So was it like, were you just like a Lone Star user then? Was it just like you were like once you got into the opiates, you were just a isolated user? Or was it like did you have like a normal group of friends?
No, I didn't have a group of friends.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because
No.
I remember like I had like normal friends that I hung out with when I was a kid, right? And like you know they drank and you know drank the OEs, you know, and smoked you know the swag weed, man. And it was like I can remember like getting into the harder stuff, and then they were just kind of like blacklisted me, right? Like
Oh, really?
they set boundaries, man, and it hurt my feelings so fucking much. And
Yeah.
like I look back on it, and I was like, well, no shit, dude. Like you were poisoning them. You know, every time I was around, they were doing something that they probably didn't want to do, but they still did. Like, yeah, is it their decision? Yeah. But like, would they have done it without me there? Probably not.
Yeah, probably.
You know, but I just didn't really see it that way, man. And it's like, the beauty in it, like, now is like, I've kind of reconnected with some of them people. And I mean, only like one of them is actually doing well. You know, he travels all over the world and does, like video editing stuff. He does like a lot of videos and stuff like that. See here, but yeah. Other than that, man, you know, they're drinking every day and you know DTing and it's kind of a sad deal. It's like, man, you know, like you guys just kind of went that route, and you know, like later on in life, like now I'm seeing you guys do the same thing, but like I can't pull you out.
No.
You know what I mean? Like I can't, and I'd love to, man, because like some of them was like, dude, you were the man. You know what I'm saying? Like you were the man back in high school, but now look at you, man.
Yeah.
You know, and it breaks my heart. We got a question here from Jalissa. What up, Jalissa? What accomplishment in your recovery within the last 6 months and you consider one of the goals checked off your life list?
I don't know if I would have thought of it as my life list, but and you know, being sober, you can build whatever life you want.
Yeah.
Camping.
Yeah.
With my motorcycle in the desert in Chihuahua, in Mexico.
Okay.
I mean, this is not like a life accomplishment, like graduated from college or something.
Pretty cool thing, no?
But like, I want to go on adventures.
That's like a spiritual experience,
dude. Yeah.
You know, I think.
And I'm out there, and I'm camping in the desert in Mexico.
That sounds really cool.
And
it does.
and
Was it just
like,
you?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, and I camped a bunch of nights out
that
there.
That sounds very spiritual. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's just you and your motorcycle and the camping.
Yeah.
In Mexico. You know what made you think Mexico?
It's there.
Yeah.
You know, and it's cold up here.
Yeah.
In March.
Yeah.
So I wanted to get down there.
Yeah.
So as far as big picture stuff, I guess the biggest accomplishment is that anytime I talk to my wonderful mother now,
yeah,
I don't hear that sense of worry in her voice. She's got her son back.
Yeah.
Like I'm back.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I mean, plenty of mistakes made in sobriety.
Of course.
But on a definite upward trajectory, provided I put these simple things first. And I told you I wasn't going to talk about too specific about what those things are.
Yeah.
I don't want to break any traditions of certain organizations.
Yeah.
Know?
Yeah.
But if anyone is watching this and they're in recovery, they probably know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Got to put those things first, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I can remember for me, man, like I drove to Washington. I think it was in like 2021.
Nice.
And like outside of going to Wisconsin on Sundays, I didn't leave the state of Minnesota.
All right.
You know, I went to California when I was 13. I loved it. I went to San Diego and I loved it, you know, because I was a skateboarder when I was a kid. And like, it was just cool, man. And I always wanted to travel, man. And I can remember like my trip to Washington was one of like the most spiritual like moments that I had in recovery. You know what I mean? Like just driving into Washington, man, like the scenery, dude, and like actually making it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It was just like, it was just something else, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We were going to visit an old sponsee that like he was kind of struggling and whatnot. you know, it was really cool. You know, we drove all the way through there, man, and like just getting there and like that feeling. It was just something about it that like really changed. Like it makes you think about like the roads traveled. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, you know, like going to Mexico, like that sounds pretty fucking cool. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just the experience from going there, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My last road trip was a fucking nightmare. So I do want to bring it. It was probably the complete opposite, right? You know, and it was a spur of the moment. It was a spur of the moment. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to Arizona. I'm gonna go visit this friend of mine that, you know, she was struggling. And where should I go first? I was like, I'm gonna go to Colorado. You know what I mean? So on the way to Colorado, I slammed the brakes and my dog's head hit the windshield, broke the windshield.
No.
And then I got to Colorado. That wasn't bad. Colorado was good. And then I drove from Colorado to Arizona. I got a failure to stop at a stop sign ticket. And then on the way back, I ended up getting really sick and throwing up all alongside some road in like New Mexico, right? And then like my leg hurt really bad and I couldn't walk on my leg. It turns out I had a blood clot.
Oh,
I got a blood clot, but I didn't know it.
That's why you were sick?
Yeah, I believe so. I don't know. I think maybe there's some food poisoning too, but I had a blood clot and like my dog, I'm like almost ran away and I'm in the middle of New Mexico and I'm throwing up and I'm thinking I'm gonna die and I'm like, what am I gonna do with my dog? You know what I mean? Like I'm in the middle of nowhere, you know. And then I sucked it up, kept going on the way back. I got a 25 mile an hour over the speed limit ticket, and then I didn't make it to the hotel, so I got charged like $300 for that. And then yeah, that was a trip from hell. I ended up with food poisoning, a fucking blood clot, 2 tickets. The speeding ticket was like $300. And then 2, the thing was is that there was a Google Maps thing on my car that said I was only going 15 over. You know, but he wasn't trying to hear that. You know, I was in like Kansas or something, you know. But anyways, that was a trip from hell. That was the exact opposite of going to Washington, right?
Sure.
But I think also too, like, that was the planning, because I just like up and went. You know what I mean? And I don't know, like I don't know what God was trying to show me, but like I mean, at least I made it back in one piece. You know what I mean? But yeah, I didn't know that I had a blood clot, and I just kept, you know, on with my normal business for 2 months, and my sponsor's a nurse, thank God. You know what I mean? And it's like, you should probably go to a doctor. You know what I mean? And I figured out I had a blood clot, so
Dang.
and then that was a big whole ordeal. I ended up on blood thinners, and I ended up finding my own way to cure it. So, which is why I don't trust doctors, but that's another story. But yeah, man. So when did you start riding your motorcycle in recovery?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
that's
actually,
when I started too.
I was I had moved to Thailand with my ex-wife
Yeah.
after we had a rough go of it. Things were good for a lot of years, but then she started dating some other guy essentially while we were married.
Oh.
We kind of came to an agreement we were gonna have an open relationship.
Yeah.
And so she said, I met this guy that I think I like. And I was like, oh, that's strange. But I was like, okay, because I'm like thinking about then, okay, if this is open now, I can talk to other girls.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I started talking to this other girl.
Yeah.
And this is before nothing had happened. And,
Yep.
and I don't think my wife, anything had happened with her or this other guy. She just said she liked him.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, I just started talking to this girl. I'm going to see her when we go on tour with my band next week.
Yeah.
And she didn't like that.
Yeah.
So then I was like, so let's not do an open relationship.
Yeah. Right.
And I thought we had a clear agreement.
It's okay for you to do, but not for me.
Yeah, but she still continued on with it.
Yeah.
And we moved to Thailand to get a fresh start. And then she actually.
That's a hell of a geographical change.
Yeah. I mean, but there's meetings out there.
There's places to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a good fellowship out there too. So I wasn't worried about that because I'd been there many times previously.
Yeah.
But then she had another boyfriend there in that town we were living. Bummer. Yeah. So anyway, I was like
complicated.
I was so depressed, you know.
Yeah.
And I was talking to my brother, and he's like, well, you could do a couple things. He's like, you could get a therapist, or you could buy a motorcycle. So I did both.
Yeah.
And I bought a motorcycle for the first time up there and learned how to ride.
Yeah.
And got a lot of freedom out of that.
So you learned how to ride in Thailand?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, dude. Left lane.
Yeah, they're on the other side, right?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It was cool, and I just went on all these journeys and
Yeah.
found my way, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How I started riding my motorcycle was very similar. You know what I mean? I was like dealing with a heartbreak, man, and it was like that bike did give me some fucking relief. It did.
It does, dude.
You know what I mean? And like, and I really fell in love with the motorcycle, man. And I remember that. You know, it was about 2021. Actually, I think it was that same year that I drove to Washington, man. you know, and then COVID too, just really different times that we lived in. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like
no doubt.
that's another thing too that I always think about, like making through recovery at that time. You know, like thinking about like the changes. You know, because like there was, and I feel that like it's still affected. You know, because like we were talking about, you know, at dinner about like how, you know, certain places, you know, like dwindle down. You know what I mean, after COVID, right? And it's like thinking about those times, man. Like I had a lot of friends too that like they didn't make it past COVID.
Yeah.
You know, buddy Corey, you know, he's, you know, got a soul, you know what I mean? But yeah, 12 years, you know, and he didn't make it through COVID. You know, like that lack of connection really took it apart for a lot of people. My best friend Lee, you know, he overdosed and died, man. And it was like, man, so many people that I knew that like just fell off for that. So like when I meet people, they're like, yeah, I got clean during COVID. I'm like, dude, you're a beast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like I feel that like, in my opinion, that like the program there was more fellowship before. I really felt that. Like after the fact, I just don't really feel like it's quite the same. You know what I mean?
It might have changed, but
maybe
I still
it's my
think,
respect. My
yeah, but I
perception
still
as
think it's
well.
what you make it. You know.
Yeah.
I still do. I'm a big
Yeah.
subscriber to. I mean, you got to make the fellowship you crave.
True. True.
I mean, it's my responsibility.
Right,
My
right.
recovery is my responsibility.
Yeah.
I feel so strongly about
Yeah.
that. And then if it is my responsibility, if anyone else can subscribe to that, then that means that there is a way out. That just because there's some place I go and it's this clicky thing that I don't like,
Yeah.
well, you could go somewhere else.
Yeah.
There's no shortage of options.
And I have told people that too. Like, you know, like when people kind of talk themselves out of going to those places, right? You know what I mean? And they're like, oh, well, I don't. Everybody this and everybody that and everybody this. It's like, well, yeah, but if you don't go, that's one less person of the person that you're looking for that is there.
Sure.
So what about the person that's just coming in that is looking for a person like you and you're not there?
Yeah.
You know, and that's
You never know,
something
right.
that's something that I've told some people that are close to me that like, you know, they don't go to those places anymore, right? You know what I mean? So, and that's a very good point. You know what I mean? And like, and I do think that like, because you do need to bring that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And resentment, dude. You know,
yeah,
number one offender.
yeah,
It destroys more alcoholics than anything else.
yeah,
From it,
yeah,
stem all forms of spiritual disease.
yeah,
So like, if people needed to behave
yeah,
in the world according to John,
yeah,
in the way I think they should,
yeah,
if my serenity was dependent on that, good luck, dude.
yeah,
But if it is just me
yeah,
and my reaction to life,
yeah,
then the world opens up.
mm,
Now I can be a free man.
yeah,
I can either be right sometimes or I can be happy, but I can't have both.
mm,
So I think generally speaking, and
Yeah.
of course I've fallen short
course.
on this,
yeah.
but I'm saying I would rather be happy than right.
That's a good way to look at it.
One
yeah.
thing, dude, this is a big one for me. I've just kind of really subscribed to this in the last, or I've just grown up a little bit in the last number of years here. Being wrong is one of the greatest things
Huh,
with
yeah,
a relationship with someone else.
yeah,
If I can humble myself, you have a disagreement. Maybe they said something that wasn't good, you know, and anyone would have agreed with me on why it
Right,
was wrong or rude
right.
or whatever.
right,
But like oftentimes within that interaction and where it got ugly, like I did something wrong.
right,
If I can admit I'm wrong,
right,
9 times out of 10, that relationship's healed in like 30 seconds.
right.
And like,
Very true.
but within that too, I mean, I'm down to make amends for something and then move on from a person,
Right,
you know, and that's okay too. But yeah, man, I just want to attempt to have some humility in this life. You know?
Yeah,
That's my goal,
absolutely.
man.
Yeah,
And if I do that, then I'm like, I'm not wronged
right,
at all.
right,
I'm like never really
Right.
wronged.
right.
And I
Right.
love that feeling.
It's the situation.
It's a
right?
goal.
Yeah,
I'm not saying I perfected it, but I have practiced this
Yeah.
a bit now.
yeah. I've learned it quite a bit too.
And it's such a more enjoyable way for
Yeah.
me to live.
Absolutely, man. It took me some time.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, in regards to that, you know, like actually just for me, a big thing was resentments.
Mm.
You know what I mean? That it was like one of the things that my dad taught me when I was a kid was don't take no shit from no one,
Sure.
and nothing means nothing. You know what I mean? That was one of the things he used to tell me back when he was drinking. Then he got sober, right? But that was in like my psyche. I was like a
Yeah.
kid when he told me that, right? So that was like just embedded in my psyche all throughout early adulthood and all that stuff. So like unlearning that and like
Sure.
even after he got sober, like he wasn't.
And he doesn't subscribe to.
No,
he didn't.
he
subscribe to
wasn't
that.
even on that type of time,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I was, right?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And like,
Right.
you know, coming into recovery and dealing with situations and, you know, where I felt that I was wrong. Like when I look at it from that point of view, like, all right, well, what was my part in it?
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, and so if I have a problem with whatever happened, I can just address what my part is. Because I can't do anything about somebody else. I can't. And whether how much I'd like to, and there's so much time got spent in my mind that like it just did me no good. It was just useless.
It's
right?
too bad that those mental gymnastics we do on
Yeah.
spending time building a case against why someone's an asshole.
Yeah.
It's too bad it doesn't actually like strengthen our mind like normal gymnastics would strengthen your body.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
Yeah,
you know,
like
that.
Yeah.
It'd be sweet if like you could work that resentment muscle.
Yeah.
And in some way, like how if you go to the gym and work
Yeah.
out a muscle group and it grows over
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
it'd be sweet if it would grow and do some
Yeah, that'd be
positive
awesome. Yeah.
impact. Because then
Yeah,
I'd probably
yeah.
just stick with it.
It make me better. Yeah.
Yeah, but
You
in
pissed off
fact,
motherfucker.
it will actually it will manifest in my body as literal sickness. Like I feel sick.
Yeah.
Like I can't sleep as good. All the things
Yeah.
that come with it. So, yeah, I mean it's a goal, but man, that's yeah. Don't take no shit from anybody.
Yeah.
Like no, dude, why not take shit?
Yeah.
Like I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't defend myself
Of course.
in an instant.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like I don't want to have to go through life on these like court cases in my mind I build
Right.
against people, dude.
Right.
You know?
And it took me about 6 years in recovery to like let that go.
You have let it
know?
go, you think?
For the most part,
Okay.
you know.
I mean, I'm not saying
like
I have.
you were saying,
but I'm
like,
saying I'm trying
perfect,
not to.
Like for the most, like my like in a general sense, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So like when I think about people that like have wronged me,
Yeah.
and like is it valid? Yeah, more than likely. But do I spend time thinking about it really anymore? No, I don't.
That's good.
Because at the end of the day, one of the things that I've learned in this recovery is that like people have life issues too, and 9 times out of 10, whatever the situation is, really has nothing to do with me. I just happen to be there.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like when I can think about it like that, like this other person has trauma, this other person has this, other person's had that. It doesn't. The depth of it isn't as deep. You know, it's like okay, like this is the situation, and I forgive you. Like it's so much easier to just do that instead of just being pissed off. And don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect at it. But for the most part, like when I think of situations, like when people do make me mad, I generally don't stay mad at it anymore.
That's good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I still get mad,
Sure.
but like I don't, I mean, that's not to say that like some people, like I buddy with them. Like usually I just focus my energy elsewhere, but I also treat them as a human being with respect and say hi and all that other stuff. But investing time in them, probably not. I mean, depending on the situation, but that's also like a judge of like my personal safety or, more or less how much time do I want to waste in my head thinking about, this or this. Because I mean, it can happen, but for the most part, it's like I generally want good for people, and even if I don't really like is so much quote unquote like somebody, like I still don't want bad for them.
Sure,
like
I don't either, dude.
I would still
feel
feel bad like if they were like hurting, you know what I'm saying? Like for people that have hurt me, watching them hurt recovery still hurts me. You know what I mean? And it's like that was also a growth moment. You know what I mean? Because like like the stuff that I thought that I wanted to hang on to from out there, told me that no, you need to get that get back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Get
And now,
even. Like,
now it's like I don't. No, man.
I don't-
Like seeing somebody hurt, like that hurts me, man.
Yeah.
Even if like some of their actions may be, unfavorable in my mind, I still don't want to see nobody hurt.
Yeah, me
You know what I
neither.
mean? It's
Me
like,
neither.
oh man, I can remember in early recovery, man. Like I remember, like when I knew something was starting to change internally. I remember there was a video of these cops getting shot, and like I started crying, right? And like, and I hated cops, right?
Yeah.
I used to have fuck cops tattooed on my knuckles, right? And like, of course I would give them an attitude, they'd beat me up. And of course I hated them more for it, you know what I mean? And, fast forward, I don't do that, and they don't beat me up, imagine that. But I can remember these cops were screaming for their life, man, and like it really broke my heart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was about 9 months in, like these little moments of like, something's starting to change internally. And I can remember that, and like, and it's been, a slower process, but like now it's like, I don't feel that way. That doesn't make me happy. You know what I mean? Like every now and then I might watch a fight video, but like, it just like, ooh, that would suck, And I think, thank God that like, they didn't have cameras back when I thought I was a tough guy, you know what I mean? But for the most part, like I don't really like any of that stuff anymore. Man.
That's good.
You know what I mean? Like, some things have changed and maybe it softened me up. That's fine. I don't care.
Oh, I'm way softer.
You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't matter to me anymore. And that feels so good to say that.
Yeah, I would rather be soft, dude.
Right. And
Truly.
I mean, I talk about it quite a bit, but it's just, it generally makes me feel better.
Yeah.
To know that like, most of the time when somebody's like, yeah, I know you from, it's usually something positive now.
That's
Where
great.
it was like my whole life, up until 31, usually it was, the exact opposite,
Mhm.
right? And it's like, there's some freedom to that, and
Mhm.
somebody's like, you're the healthiest person I know. It still makes me laugh. You know what I mean? Because that was never the case. And now it's like, so many things can change, man. And like, that's just, that's the beauty of it, man. There is a lot of beauty in that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit more about Thailand. So then you started riding motorcycles out there. How long did you stay up there before you moved back?
I mean, technically, I moved there for like 6 months, but then came back. But I would only come back during the summers, pretty much, like
Yeah.
part of the spring, summer, part of the fall.
So is it warm there in the winter too?
Yeah,
Oh, is it? Okay.
yeah, because I mean, the winter here, God bless Minnesota
Yeah.
for many of its beautiful qualities.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Winter
yeah.
is not one of them for me.
Mhm,
I'm sure people, if they're listening to this podcast, disagree and they like the winter, and that's great. But I don't.
Never have. Yeah.
So I get out of here, man, and
Yeah.
I like going south or to Thailand. And yeah, I lived out there, uh, actually for the winters, probably for the last 10 years,
Oh, you still
with the
do?
exception of COVID when I couldn't go to Thailand because of travel restrictions. So I went to Mexico again on the
Oh,
motorcycle
okay. That's
like
awesome.
6 years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I was out there, and me and my ex-wife split up. We got divorced, and
Yeah.
that was a whole sad thing, whatever. But
Yeah.
then I was on Tinder out there. They got Tinder out there too.
Interesting.
They got shopping malls.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
got
yeah.
if you want to eat terrible food, you can eat McDonald's there too.
So
but
is there like culture like aligned with ours?
yeah,
Like for instance, if you go to some small town in Texas, it's like 10 years behind, Or
yeah,
is
it's
it like,
different.
or
But
is it a little more advanced than us?
no, I wouldn't say. The only thing that's more advanced is the way their kindness, maybe. Because I wouldn't say Americans are inherently kind all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I'd say
Yeah.
so. Thai people are
Goodness.
more kind, more heart centered. I'd say
Really?
people.
Interesting.
But the one thing is trans people out there. Okay,
Yeah.
they have been accepting with they call them lady boys out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
But of that as a
Yeah.
part of their culture for a very long time.
Yeah.
And I don't really think, in large part, looked down on as like this separate kind of like
Yeah.
uh,
They don't
neglected.
they don't dehumanize them.
yeah,
essentially,
yeah, I don't
right?
think so.
Yeah.
So that's one thing they maybe are more advanced. But as
Yeah.
far as economics and all that stuff, it's a developing country, but
Yeah.
it's a lot more poor,
Yeah.
but very beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Like they don't have
Heard
everything,
that.
so maybe it's appreciated what
Yeah.
they do have more.
Yeah.
And there's tons of rich people there too
Right.
that have big mansions and all
Right.
that stuff. But yeah, it's a beautiful place, man. I would highly recommend it.
Yeah. Yeah. I that's one of my next goals. I gotta check out outside the country.
Yeah.
I still haven't been outside the country.
Oh, it's good. So here's my suggestion for travel, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't even care if you're uncomfortable with this idea, but like get the fuck out there, okay? And I
Yeah.
don't mean go to like a 5-star Hilton resort in like Acapulco or something in Mexico. I mean, if you're gonna do that trip, you get a night or two away from the resort.
Yeah.
Try to stay somewhere local,
Yeah.
eat local food, like see the way people live in other
Yeah.
countries.
Yeah.
And like for me, it seems like there's some strange correlation with enjoyment of a trip to another country and the directly proportionate, the smell of open sewer.
Yeah.
Like it's like the smells
Yeah.
and the sights, and
Yeah.
then you see sometimes shocking things,
Yeah.
and you can't stay changed.
Yeah.
There's like this Mark Twain quote that it talks about travel. Like travel is fatal to bigotry, small-mindedness, and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
many of it in our country are sorely in need of that. So
Yeah.
the beautiful thing, you go out there, you see another country, another culture, the way they live, you eat their food, and then when you come back home, you'll probably appreciate America even more.
Yeah. I've heard that.
But he talks about, like Mark Twain was talking about, how like you can't find that by vegetating away in your own little corner of the world
Mm.
only, and this is of course I'm an advocate for travel because I've done it. Many people
Yeah.
haven't done it
Yeah.
because they aren't interested in it or they're scared or whatever, but I'm telling you, there is a big beautiful world out there to see, and it will change you, and I'm pretty sure it'll change you for the better.
Yeah. Yeah. I need to do that. My sponsor, he travels a lot.
Yeah.
His mom lives in New Zealand. I think he went to China last, or he's going there next. He went to Cuba, and we were gonna go to New Zealand, man. I need to get my passport. what? I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna set a fucking alarm in my
Do it.
phone to get my passport.
Get it, dude.
Because that's all I gotta do is get it. Because once I get
Yeah.
it, you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
all right, well, where am I going? You know
Right.
what I mean? I'm gonna set an alarm for that. I'm gonna do that next week. I'm gonna do it.
Do it, dude.
I need to.
Yeah.
I need to stop talking about
We
it.
can do a motorcycle tour out in Thailand in January.
Dude,
I got 3 bikes out there ready,
Really?
ready to cruise.
really?
Yep.
So get passport.
That's good. Dude.
I need to, because people have been telling me to do it, and I've been meaning to.
Yeah.
Like, it's been like, you know, like, yeah, I should, yeah, definitely. And then I'm like, I just gotta find some time, and it's like, no, you gotta make some time.
Yeah.
I gotta remember that. You know what I
You
mean?
can
It's
do it.
like, you know, come up with either you find a way, or you make an excuse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you know, and that happens, like, you know. But I definitely want to do that. Yeah, there's some places like I always wanted to go to Denmark for some reason.
Sick.
You know what
I've
I mean?
never been there. I'd love to go. Yeah, I'd love
Yeah,
to go.
I remember like when I like the days of MySpace, I had like a Danish girlfriend or something.
Oh,
like
yeah?
that. She was a veterinarian,
Uh-huh.
and we talked a lot about animals and stuff. And like pit bulls were kind of like, you know, my thing. You know what I mean? I still love them. You know, it's kind of my breed. You know, like my little, well, what do you call them? Spirit animal.
All
Spirit,
right.
my spirit animal. But like, yeah, we were like, I remember we talked a lot, and like, you know, she told me a lot about her culture, and like, you know, she sent me pictures and stuff like that. I mean, this was like 20 years ago, you know what I mean? But I was like, I wonder, you know, go out there or some shit, you know, or just like go to Germany or, you know, just somewhere different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
See it.
You know, that's definitely something I need to do is just travel. 'Cause I mean, at the end of the day, man, like, we don't get to take all our stuff with us.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like the memories, like we'll always have. It's like, for instance, like that Washington trip, man, like that was great. You know what I mean? I remember I did go to Oregon for like work when I was like 28, but it was like, I think it was like I was on the opiates.
Yeah, you couldn't
And,
fully appreciate it like that.
I didn't, you
Yeah.
know, and like I smoked weed the whole time because I didn't want to be, you know, I was kind of in the beginning of like being physically dependent, so I was like a little bit sick.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad, but it was.
Uh-huh.
I still felt like shit. But
Yeah.
it was like I just smoked a lot of pot, and I don't really remember it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But like, but when you're you know clean and just presence, you know, like you get to remember those things.
Absolutely. And you got money to spend on a trip like that if you're not blowing it on dope, you know?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wanted to talk about meditation a little bit.
Yeah. Let's run it, man. Let's
You
run
got
it.
any experience with like silent, like seated
Um,
meditation, done that kind of thing?
So, my sponsor goes to a Buddhist meeting, and he's also mentioned me I should go there at some point. I didn't really like the idea of that, like sitting there quiet for an hour.
Yeah.
I didn't really like that idea, you know, and
You don't have to.
and maybe I should have took him up on it, you know.
Oh, I don't know if should is the
Because-
word, but
Well, because when I think about it, a lot of things that he's like mentioned me to do that like I haven't done, like I think about it and say, well, I probably should have, because all the things that I have done that he suggested I do
Mhm.
has made my life better.
that's cool.
You know what I mean? I find a lot of meditation from the gym,
Mhm.
from lifting weights. You know, like that's where I get like my
Yeah, I mean, I get that too. I like
Yeah.
going to the gym.
Yeah.
I feel that.
yeah.
But I want to talk about like
Guided
spirituality. Oh, maybe, yeah, that too. But like,
Yeah.
okay, so spirituality on a spectrum, let's say,
Mhm.
from like on one side, let's say is atheism,
Yeah.
and the other side is like, I don't know,
Spiritual guru.
no,
Buddhist.
not even like
Yeah.
evangelical Christianity.
Yeah.
Okay, if
Yeah.
this is the spectrum, I mean, I'm somewhere in the middle, right?
Yeah.
Both atheism and evangelical Christianity are equally unattractive to me. So the guy who's saying this for sure God does not exist and here's how. Like
Yeah.
he's convinced like he has the facts.
Yeah.
Or the evangelical Christian or evangelical whatever religion
Yeah.
trying to force it down like someone's throat that
Yeah.
this is the only way to God. I know the answer, follow this or you're damned. Like both things equally unattractive to me.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle, I mean, I do pray. I
Yeah.
pray to God.
Me too. Yeah.
But I did start doing like a formal seated meditation every morning for now, probably about the last 12 years,
Really.
10 years, something like that.
Yeah.
And so for the guy who's the atheist, he couldn't argue with what I'm about to say. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the act of sitting silently and just focusing on your breathing for 10, 15 minutes on a daily basis or a regular basis at least.
Yeah.
Literally, the science behind it shows that it changes your brain.
Really.
Like changed brainwave activity.
Interesting.
And so, I mean, you can't argue with that. That's just science, like measuring brainwaves of people who have done this for this period of time, or
Yeah.
longer.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to change.
Yeah.
And this reaction to life that has changed, I am convinced is in large part because of that.
Interesting.
So like, and if you are the evangelical Christianity person or the atheist, a silent meditation, if you're heavy laden right now in life,
Yeah.
there is nothing that couldn't help a little bit, if not a
Interesting.
lot, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just been a great journey. I lived with a monk
Yeah.
for a short period of time, like 6-7 days in Thailand a couple
Yeah.
winters ago.
Yeah.
It was hard because he
Yeah.
only eats one meal a day, and I had to do what he did. It was just me and this monk out in the forest at his
Yeah.
little
That's
temple.
quite an experience, man.
Dude,
Yeah.
and I'm telling you, this guy, he would not talk to me during the day at all. We would go walk barefoot into this town about 2 miles away
Yeah.
to all over on the rocks, the gravel roads, and all the dirt roads and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Walk barefoot into town,
Yeah.
and the people in the town would give him food,
Yeah.
and he would eat it at 8 a.m. and that one meal a day, and then he would say, "Now go sit by yourself," or I could do this walking meditation back and forth. He would just say, "Puto, puto, puto," back
Yeah.
and forth, and I did it for days and days.
Really.
And he wanted me to sit in a certain way to do meditation, the way you sit
Yeah.
cross-legged.
Yeah.
So hard because
Really?
I would do it before that meditation, but I didn't sit in that way.
Yeah.
And anyway, dude, it took me like 4 days to get used to eating one meal a day and doing like hours of walking meditation and hours of seated meditation. And then the only time he talked to me would be, well, 2 times a day, really. We would rake the leaves around this one tree with these giant rakes he built
Yeah.
out of this, I think, bamboo.
Yeah.
We would just rake, but he wouldn't say much. He would just talk to me a little bit.
Interesting.
Then at night, we would do a 6 p.m. meditation where we'd sit for like 30 or 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I could talk with him.
Interesting.
And I asked him, "What's it like when you meditate?" And he didn't speak English well, and I don't speak Thai very well.
Yeah.
But I could understand what he's saying. He said, oftentimes when I'm sitting here or in my little house over there and I'm meditating, I can like be above my body looking down at it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, he's like, you people, meaning people outside living in the normal world,
Yeah.
you have it hard.
Yeah.
Your life is hard.
Yeah.
I feel not sorry, but I feel like for sure this life is easier.
Yeah.
But okay, the last thing I said after he told me when he meditates, he's like above himself looking down.
Yeah.
I said, amazing. I was like, that's amazing, you know, because I was like really inspired at the time too.
Yeah.
And he said, not amazing. He got really stern with me. He pointed at this like 6 foot tall, like Buddha statue. He's like, he was just a man. And essentially, Buddha, I'm not Buddhist, but Buddha was just a man.
Yeah.
He's not God, even though they build like 100-foot statues of him. And
Yeah.
in some ways, it looks like they worship him as a god.
Yeah.
He was just a dude, a rich dude, a rich kid from a family. He gave all that up and he wanted to find inner peace. And he found it through meditation.
Wow.
And so it's not a religion in the ordinary sense of the word.
Yeah.
Buddha is not a god, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't say I'm Buddhist because I'm not. But like there's something there,
Interesting.
which is like, I think it's achievable
Yeah.
in this
So,
life.
I did want to kind of comment on piggyback something along those lines. So I know a guy that goes to those places that we go to, right? And so he was telling me his experience. He started this. He had a point in time in his recovery that he was really struggling. All this, you know, the noise that we got up in here, right?
Yeah.
You know, the asshole between our ears, right? And he started doing this silent meditation for like started with 10, then 12, and then a half hour, right? And he went to go see the doctor, and the doctor was like, you have the health of a 20-year-old athlete.
And did he have not great health before that?
He had high blood pressure. He had
See, so I'm saying science,
yeah,
dude. It's just
he-
science. It's
yeah,
not
he
even
had-
like
he had hypertension. I don't remember which one, but it was more than one. It was like relatively bad,
Yeah.
right? And like
Yeah.
his blood pressure was great.
incredible.
His resting heart rate was that of an athlete at like 60 something.
So this isn't even a spiritual talk at this
Right.
point. This
It's
is
for your
just
health.
like a
Right.
health decision,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
I can't say it enough. If
Interesting.
someone would even just start, like you
Yeah.
download like a meditation app, like Calm or Insight Timer or something,
Yeah.
and just start with 5 minutes in the morning. It doesn't matter how
Interesting.
much your thoughts, because you just start over. Because my thoughts start going, oh, I'm thinking about what I'm going to do today. I got to make that appointment. Oh, start over. Start breathing and just
Yeah.
just breathing, and then you just do 5 minutes in the morning. Even start with that, dude. I'm telling you, this changes people.
I'm gonna try that too. I like that. I like that because I need that because as you're saying that, I'm thinking about like that would be very beneficial to help quiet those racing thoughts because that's one of the things about the mind of an addict, right? Is that like in general we think more. You know, like like some. I remember some of the health realization treatment. I think it was treatment number 8 or something. I don't remember, but they say like the average person had like 75,000 thoughts a day, but the addict has 85,000.
You think that's true?
Yeah,
I don't know. It might be.
I don't know.
I've never really dove into studying that.
Yeah, it was
I mean,
like some video we watched, and then it was like how an addict's brain reacts to stress, and like all these like like the lights and I don't know what I mean, but whatever. But it made sense, and it was like interesting, because like I'll do that from time to time. Like I'll be talking to a quote unquote normie, or whatever you want to call that, right? But I'll be talking about a situation. They're like, yeah, I don't really have that. Like,
I see some normies though that are pretty whacked out, dude.
that's
too.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
To me, my argument on this is that not the argument that 85,000 like the more thoughts, meaning addicts or alcoholics have more. I don't know. That could be very well true.
Yeah.
But the human condition is that of left unattended, life is suffering.
Yeah.
And the only way for me, at least, to quiet that, I mean, I do believe in having a relationship with higher power.
Yeah.
It's helped. I can't even quantize like how much that's helped. But like, we need to have a way to get quiet, you know? And for me, prayer was good early in sobriety and it helped me. But that in and of itself didn't produce the same, I guess it was the two things together, but it really, once I started doing meditation, I'm convinced that's the reason I didn't kill myself when I found out my ex-wife had another boyfriend,
Yeah.
I mean, I was in a dark place, like did meditation and other stuff, like the meeting kind of things we were talking about.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to talk about is like, I hear people that are sober sometimes, like with a group of us and we get together at a location, we're talking about, but they'll be like, I have a life that I don't deserve.
Yeah.
You hear that?
Yeah.
I've probably said it myself.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think maybe if we do this work, honestly and humbly, and we really do it, and we repair the damage we've done in the past, and we look at our own bullshit, and try to do better with it, and then we try to help other people, and we do this stuff, and we form a relationship with a higher power, and maybe the meditation, all this. I kind of think maybe the good life we have today we deserve.
I do. I agree with you on that. I do.
So when people say like that, I know it's an attempt at humility, and I can appreciate it for what it is, but I don't just 100% black and white agree with that statement if we're going to make it in black and white terms. If you got a good life today, if you put in some serious effort, and your life's awesome, maybe you deserve it.
Yeah,
I don't want to take it for granted.
I don't think I've ever said that, but I do hear.
I hear it a fair amount.
I do hear that quite a bit. Yeah, and when I do hear it, I'm like, well, what do you mean? Because it's like, I mean, because we get in and we do work on ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, well, maybe that person might have deserved that life, but this person over here that's done the work, that's worked on his defects and did all this stuff, you got a point there. Like, I do think that, like, maybe I do deserve this life, man. You know what I mean? Because I'm not that same person that I was before I got here. You know what I mean? And little did I know about that person. You know what I mean? I was just operating on autopilot. Like when I look back on it, it's like some of the ways I used to like behave and think, and it's like, wow. But really, man, it was just a lot of pain. Like I walked in with a lot of pain. And I didn't see it for that at the time. Sure. And it was just like so many things that like my sponsor like puts it in like an onion, and you're just kind of peeling away that onion.
That's a great.
You know what I mean? And it's like, man, and it's like there's like we were talking about this the other day. On like memes, there's like there was like Ice Cube when he was in NWA and he's got the guns, you know what I mean? He's like me when I was a newcomer, and then it's like me at 9 months and he's got him in a boat with a life jacket all smiling.
That's good, dude.
Yeah, I love that. That's a very good analogy, man.
Do you look back like on phases of your life?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
And like some are good, some are bad.
Yeah.
But like I think a lot of them have just kind of passed me by. Meaning this. Today, this week, maybe last week, recently, I've been like, how can I just really appreciate this moment? Like, can I be here?
Yeah.
Can I be here right now where my feet are at in this moment?
Yeah.
Good or bad?
Yeah.
And like, to me, there's got to be, that's the goal, dude, for me,
Yeah, I
is
like
to
that.
be here right now in this moment
Yeah,
and take it as it is.
Yeah.
But like, especially when it's good, like, and it's fleeting, you know,
yeah,
but it's a goal too, to
yeah.
be here.
I was thinking about that the other day, actually.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially like when I was at work, it was like, you know,
You're painting this,
I'm on my phone and I'm thinking about
but
this,
you're painting
and I'm
things,
thinking about
right?
that, and it's like just to sit and think, like, can I just be here right now? Because really, that's
Yeah.
all I really have to do.
Dude, that job, do you talk about that here or not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, we don't need to go too specific. You paint
Yeah.
things on the road.
Yep.
Dude, that's like the perfect
Yeah.
like analogy for meditation in a way.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like you just, you're right there in it. And
Yeah.
not, and I mean, of course you daydream. Of course I daydream about other
Yeah.
stuff, but like, dude,
Yeah.
to be there,
Just paint the road.
it's fucking cool.
And I can do it at my own pace. Nobody's
Yeah.
telling me to speed up. Like I could literally do one a day if I wanted to, man. It's just great. But it's like I remember, like, it's like in the construction field, man, especially like being like in the painters union. So like any non-licensed trade, like the labor is high,
Mhm.
and it's really hard to justify the wage, right? So like for instance, a painter, like if you aren't like a really good vinyl hanger and know how to do some very expensive patterns and all that other stuff, you better move. You better know how to move that roller, and you better know how to go. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I remember years of just, you know what I'm saying? It's like trying to keep up with the six.
Wait, how does that motion go?
Yeah. No, but just trying to keep up with this guy that's like 6'7".
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm only 5'7",
Yeah.
but his arms are like, he's just a big old bird. And trying to keep up with him. I remember just like that stress of like trying to keep up and like, just sweat my ass off in apartment buildings. I mean, we got paid great. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
I've always loved that, but
Yeah.
thinking about that and being so grateful that I don't have to do that anymore.
Sure.
And some of them, man, like they don't have air scrubbers. You know what I mean? You're atomizing that paint, and it's just sticky. The humidity and it's miserable,
Really?
man. And like, I thank God for that every morning. Like,
Yeah,
thank
dude.
you, God, because I was ready to give up the union. I didn't even want to paint anymore. I had to be honest. I don't even like doing it, but painting a road's easy. It's just a walk behind it. Just hit a button and it's
That's
nothing.
great.
It's not like
Yeah.
a pump. I like actually spraying the paint. I just don't like backrolling it. But
Okay.
but yeah, like just to be grateful to like not have to do all that, because like for instance like the pool of where the money's coming from is different. Like whereas like in the field, like the contractor's paying the subcontractor X amount of dollars and you have to do this in X amount of time. You know what I mean? Whereas like at the city, it's just time and material. As long as you're there, I'll be billing for 8 hours. That's it. That's all I got to do. That's all I got to worry about, man. And it's like, I think that like me personally, like it's been, especially what I had to deal with, like with my dad passing and then my family stuff and all that other shit that I don't deal with very gracefully sometimes. It's weird how I think that God really like prepared me for that a little bit. I think like if I'd have still been out in the field having to deal with like that shit environment, I probably would have just lost my shit and probably just imploded or something. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
But it's like, I mean, at least with this, it's like even if I'm like stressing out about something, like my coworkers like able to bring me down. You know what I mean? Like just chill, bro. It's all good. I'm
That's
like,
good.
oh yeah, that's right. I just gotta chill. Because really, at the end of the day, that is what it's about. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know. Because there was something I always said too. I don't know a lot of old happy painters.
Really?
Maybe I could change that.
That'd be sweet. Yeah, you should be an old happy painter.
But I met like one or two, but yeah, for the most part, I don't. But so how long do you meditate now?
I just 10, 15 minutes in the morning.
10, 15
That's it.
every morning.
Yeah, but it's like basically revolutionized my life.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's not the first time I've heard that.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, we're going at the end here. Got 59 minutes live. So anything else you want to add before we close her up?
Do me a favor, everybody out there on the airwaves.
Yeah.
Don't kill yourself in the first 5 years of sobriety.
Yeah.
You know why?
Oh.
Because you'd be killing the wrong person.
I like that. That's a good one. So this is what we do here. We do one thing at the end where you pick a number and you answer a question.
All right.
So a number between 1 and 114.
113.
Favorite sport?
Favorite sport, I guess, would have to be. Is it a sport? I don't know. Like, I was gonna say like adventure motorcycling. off-road,
Motocross.
on-road, not even motocross, because I ride these big-ass, like 700 plus cc bikes.
Yeah.
So maybe that's not a sport. Second favorite is football. And okay, here's how dedicated I am.
Yeah.
I don't really watch football,
Yeah.
but yet I still dislike the Packers.
True
How's that?
Minnesota.
Yeah.
True Minnesota. I'm
Yeah.
gonna pick 108. Oh, I'm excited. Favorite Italian dish. I'm gonna have to keep that easy. Spaghetti. Is that Italian?
I think so.
Is that
Yeah, spaghetti noodles.
Spaghetti meatballs. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Sounds
it.
great.
All right, boys. Well, that's it. We're over and out for the Friday Night Attitude for Gratitude podcast. John, thank you for coming on.
Thanks, Rob.
Listeners, thank you for listening. We'll see you next week. Thank
Peace.
you. We're out. And stream. And